Hey guys, hey, how are you? How are you? Today we're gonna eat all of this McDonald's and I'm gonna share with you a TMI story of when I had a bit of a troubled menage a trois. Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. And as you can see, or maybe as you maybe have guessed, today we are recreating an iconic Foodie Beauty breakfast mukbang. Anybody that watches Foodie Beauty know that if we get McDonald's, there's gonna be some drama, some controversy.
I think my skin looks pretty good. I don't have a tons of foundation on like you do. Or you don't like my skin, which is actually baby smooth, and I get complimented on it every day.
And here we have an example of a famous mukbang that has now been deleted. But thanks to Kiwi Farms and Hamberlard Raid, the video has indeed been archived. And thanks to Cream Egg for detailing the exact items that were consumed. I tried my best to recreate this. So I do have 2 servings of pancakes here because of the fact that they look bigger than what they are in the UK. Because like this is the size of the pancake here. And I put them in the oven. So they are rock hard. That's going to be nice. But hopefully hopefully I can just drench them in butter and syrup and they'll be fine. I have 2 Krispy Kremes because the donuts in the UK, they don't have like cream fillings in the McDonald's. You don't get Boston creams. We do have indeed 5, what they call hash browns. I have some barbecue sauce. I'm not a big fan of ketchup. And I have 2 sausage and egg McMuffins because the chicken biscuit, they don't have that here. And I also have a bacon one. When I do these videos or when I eat like somebody, usually I do try to encompass them fully by dressing like them and doing my makeup like them. But the reality is that I need to wear clothes that are comfortable because this is going to make me feel probably quite awful, which is why we are actually doing this. So before I get into eating all of this, I should disclaim that don't eat like this. It's unhealthy. It's not good for you. Eat fast food in moderation, not every day in moderation, now and again. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to show that it makes you feel bad, not just because I'm fit and healthy, which I am. I don't know why I went like that, but I am. It makes you feel bad because of the fact that fast food affects your body differently than what healthy food does. So what I've been doing for the last 2 days, I've been taking my blood pressure levels at several intervals during the day. And also I have been taking my blood glucose levels, which is very interesting. I'm very, very curious to see what this is gonna do to my insulin, to my blood glucose. And I think this is part of the reason why I will probably feel bad. I expect everything to go up. I have prepared for this video. I'm not just gonna sit here and eat. I had 2 days of training. I had 2 days of reduced calories. Not highly, I reduced them by a couple of hundred, but slightly less carbs, slightly reduced calories. And I've been taking my blood sugar level as well as my blood pressure at several times during the day. So before we get into this, let's get started with blood pressure. I am fasted. It is 10:45. I've done a workout this morning. I did a 1,000-calorie workout. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go and check it out. It will be up on this channel. If you want to see more detail of my training and my food vlogging, go to my main channel because I have vlogged it also. It's up there for you too. But let me just get my fasted readings here for my blood pressure as well as my blood sugar. It is slightly elevated compared to what it is normally, especially my heart rate, but that's normal. I'm sitting here talking, I've been setting this up and stuff like that. So expect it, right? Now, we're gonna take our blood glucose levels. And what I'll do is I will vlog for the rest of the day. I will keep taking my measurements throughout the rest of the day, as well as tomorrow morning, including my weight and measurements of that. We can see how bad fast food really is. How does it actually affect somebody who is fit and healthy? Do I think I'm gonna eat all of this? Probably not. I will try my damnest, but it will be hard. I'm not gonna lie. It is a lot of food and it's a lot of carbs. A lot more than I'm used to, so... this always does suck. 7.3, which is high. My blood glucose levels have been quite high considering I do a low carb diet, so I'm quite surprised by that. However, like I said, I only started 2 days ago, and 2 days ago I also got on my period. Yeah, I know, I'm a woman. Don't be surprised. I have a functioning uterus. Shit, don't tell anybody. But I did go on my period. This can elevate blood glucose levels. In addition to that, I am very hungry right now. Sometimes where you're very fasted, it can actually spike your blood glucose levels. I've been quite busy today. I did train. There's a lot of factors that can go into it. I will definitely keep tracking my blood glucose just for my own interest. But I usually sit around 6, 5.5, 6 is kind of the normal range. So what are my expectations? I expect my blood pressure to be going up. I expect my blood glucose definitely to go up because what I'll do is half an hour after having eaten this, I'll take more measurements. I expect that I'm going to feel very lethargic. I expect I'm going to get a headache. I expect I'm going to feel very thirsty and just gross. I expect I'm going to have a dodgy stomach. So I do have some kombucha here. I find that kombucha does help with digestion for me. Otherwise, I'm just going to crack into this because I am actually really hungry. So I'm going to get cracking with this and watch me eat this in a time lapse because I won't put you through eating noises. I'm not that bad. But first, of course, wouldn't be a Foodie Beauty video if we didn't. Oh shit, it's all so greasy. Oh, oh my word. Beauty bite. I'll take a taste of everything actually, because that's the right way to do it, isn't it? I'll take a bite of everything. I most certainly should have eaten all these things fresh. These pancakes are going to be awful because they're rock solid. On this channel I do a lot of days of eating like people, from fitness personalities to just different diets, and give you my opinion. The reason why is because I want to understand what people are talking about. I want to understand how people feel rather than just sitting there and being judgmental. I want to put myself in somebody's shoes. Even if it's just for a day or temporarily, at least I can understand better, do you know what I mean? So I did a day of eating like Amberlynn Reid. I've done days of eating like Iris Kyle, famous Miss Olympia, female bodybuilder. I recently did a day of eating and training like a ballerina, which was hard, very hard. I've done the military diet. So there's a lot going on this channel. I highly recommend you subscribe if this is something you're interested in. I try to make it funny. It's not so serious. Obviously challenges like this is not something I want to do a lot, because I just don't like eating like this and it's really bad for you. So I don't want to do this on a weekly basis. Maybe once a month is fine. So I'm thinking maybe doing the avocado next, because I'm sure the amount of sodium he inhales has some interesting side effects. But yeah, for now, I'm just gonna try like this. Oh my god. Can you hear that? So crispy. Try a bite of this Biscoff Krispy Kreme. If you know, you know. Comment down below your favorite donut flavor, as well as your favorite McDonald's item. Anyway, we've tried everything. The donut was nice. This, not the biggest fan. I like a McMuffin, but the rest not fussed. But that doesn't stop me. I'm gonna eat it nonetheless. So I'm gonna be a fat bastard whilst I'm gonna watch super shredded people. It's a good idea, isn't it? I could stop now and it'd be fine. I feel full up. Sorry. I feel like this is enough for me now, and I've literally barely touched it. I feel like, so I've had two of these, 2 muffins, 1 of those. It is fascinating to see how people eat beyond the point of feeling full up. Now I don't like feeling super full up, probably because like I've also had my history with problematic eating or eating disorders. So for me, being really full up, it's not a feeling I enjoy. I've overcome that, by the way. I've planned for this. I probably will not eat for the rest of the day. If I get hungry, I will literally eat chicken and broccoli, literally. Just very, very lean meat. A little bit of fibrous vegetable. But I'll be surprised if I eat anything for the rest of the day. Maybe in like 6-7 hours, I'll get a bit hungry. But I think I'll be digesting this for the most part. I'll put in the calories towards the end because I actually don't know how much food I am gonna eat, but it should come down to around 3,000. But whether I eat 3,000 is another question. Anyway, these pancakes ain't gonna eat themselves, so let's get going. Oh, this one's soft. So much better when they're soft. getting jaw pain.
That's what she said.
From eating.
Sure, Jan.
I genuinely don't understand how people love to eat like this. I really don't. You must build up like a tolerance to it. Don't get me wrong, one is nice. One is nice. A donut is nice. One is nice. But to stay here and eat such large amounts of food, I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. It's not pleasurable to me whatsoever. And I don't just say that because, you know, I never eat naughty food. I do eat naughty food. But it perplexes me when people eat like this every day. In the words of Will Tennyson, maybe I should superset this.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
No. But my daddy didn't raise no quitters. I've probably eaten 3 days worth of carbohydrates in this sitting so far. This is probably, oh my god. It's making me feel a bit funny. That's for sure. Luckily I've got some time. I can lay down before I have to do my clients this afternoon. Half an hour I can lay down if I get on with it. Stop my bitching, best get going. Eating like this just puts me off from eating fast food, like McDonald's. I don't mind some takeout, but McDonald's, ugh, it's so gross. I don't get it. Nutella donut. You know when it's a lot of food, when trying to swallow and chew. When trying to chew and swallow a donut is hard work. I ain't going to eat anymore. It's making me feel sick, like the thought of eating any more McDonald's is actually up here. I'm gonna lay down, feel gross until it's time to work, and then probably continue laying down and feeling gross. I'll be back when it's time to take measurements again. We'll do it in about half an hour.
5 minutes later.
It's been about half an hour since I ate that food and I feel really full up. My belly feels like it's out here. There we go. 8.2. It's quite high.
2 hours later.
Oh, right, a few hours later. Quite a lot later actually, 2:15. So it's been about 3 hours since I ate. I feel very thirsty, a little bit headachy, but it's not too bad. I don't feel super bloated either, or very gross. I do feel full up, but it's not as horrible as what I thought. But this is, I think, partially because I've just been doing things around the house. I've been keeping busy, just getting steps in. I find it helps digest rather than just sitting down and being lazy, but I do find I'm hitting quite a hard slump. I've come over feeling very, very lethargic. I don't know about you, but I think this is well interesting. Heart rate is still quite high, to be honest. My diastolic, because normally that sits around like 50, I think. So 70 is quite high, 120. It normally sits around 110. Let's take the blood glucose once again. Sure. 9.9. That's high, isn't it? 9.9. I've not had that after any meal. To be honest, today is the highest it has been ever. Well, not ever, I don't know about ever, since I started measuring 2 days ago. Can you imagine walking around having insulin spikes like that all day long? And it's very important as well that insulin plays quite a big role in weight loss.
2 hours later.
5 o'clock. I hope that my blood sugar has come down by now. I should imagine it's come down a little bit. I haven't eaten anything. All I've had to drink is water, not even a Diet Coke. But we shall see. I like the little countdown. 8. So it's come down 2. then maybe by the time I go to bed tonight, which will be the last measurement I'll do. Right, let me just do my blood pressure as well. I didn't want to do that first because I was just talking. Alright, this has come down significantly as well. My heart rate's down to 60, diastolic 54, systolic 118. So that's come down from 70 over 120. Well, 120 over 70. So that's good.
2 hours later.
7:30, getting ready for bed. Yes, I go to bed at 8 o'clock. I'm still burping up donut. And I'm not hungry. Still not hungry. 107 over 60, 58.
Private social life. Any meeting I've taken in the Senate.
Let's come down a little bit more.
Don't you think so, Congress?
We'll see tomorrow morning. Hey guys, it's Future Ilona here, and let's talk about the data, shall we? What I'll do is I'll put onto the screen my A1C levels, my blood pressure, as well as my heart rate over a 3-day period. 2 days prior to filming the video, the third day is when I filmed, as well as the day after and this morning too. So you can see the differences in what has happened in terms of how the food affected my body. It's interesting to know that during the day of eating, my A1C levels were elevated, going up to 9.9, which is a pretty high, but I would expect that after a very high carbohydrate meal. It's also interesting to know that actually in the beginning of the week my levels were fairly high too, sitting at around 6.5 on average. But apparently this is because I was on my period, and as you can see, day 4 and day 6 my levels were both 5.8 and 5.2. Even in day 2 the levels came down to 5.2. Now let's talk about this a little bit more, about insulin and the dangers of potentially becoming insulin resistant, which you potentially are when you walk around with an elevated blood sugar level. I should disclaim, I'm not a doctor and I'm not an endocrinologist either, so whatever information I'm gonna relate to you here, it's not my opinion. This is findings from various websites that I'll be sure to link below, written by people far smarter than me. First of all, we should define what insulin resistance is. Insulin resistance happens when the body's cells become resistant to insulin, and ever increasing amount of it is required to have the same unlocking effect on the body cells. Insulin resistance is a precursor to pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes. It happens because of a combination of lifestyle as well as genetics, leading to an inflammatory process in the body. There are many biological stress factors that can set insulin resistance in motion, including excess nutrition. I think this is a problem with many people, is eating too much food, in particular simple processed carbohydrates. Basically the blood will struggle to maintain the blood sugar at a correct level. In an effort to keep the blood sugar in the normal range, more insulin is secreted from the beta cells in the pancreas. A veritable tug of war ensues between forces attempting to remove and store sugar in the body cell. And those cells themselves that are full are becoming less sensitive to the actions of insulin. The problem with insulin spikes is they force your body into using the blood sugar. If you have more blood sugar than you really need to feed your cells, it gets stored as fat. In fact, the body can only store fat when insulin is present. So people who are trying to lose weight should avoid insulin spikes. The one-time insulin spikes can be good is for those who are bodybuilding. Many lifters intentionally eat foods that will cause an insulin spike right after a workout, so that the muscles get fit quickly. The anabolic window, right? Make those gains. That's probably usually one of the only times that I eat carbohydrates, is usually around my meals, around my training, and usually is post-workout. Walking around with an elevated blood sugar level can be dangerous and detrimental to health. Initially it can impact your vision. You may have to pee more. You probably are hungrier than normal because the insulin spikes and then it crashes, and then you want to eat again, right, to try and get some energy. Actually, over a prolonged time it can have some very serious side effects, such as heart disease, stroke, kidney damage, nerve damage, eye damage, and skin problems. And you know, sometimes it can even lead to amputation of limbs. So there's also a very interesting debate ongoing within the community, is does insulin resistance cause weight gain, or is weight gain caused by insulin resistance? And there are studies out there that kind of debate both sides, and I think it's probably a combination of both, because the reality is that you can develop type 2 diabetes by having a poor lifestyle, but you don't necessarily have to be obese, I suppose. But usually speaking, obesity is caused by poor lifestyle choices, especially poor dietary choices, and therefore that can lead to insulin resistance, which then therefore there's weight gain, which then in turn leads to insulin resistance. I found an interesting article by Science Nature where they are discussing some of the theories behind type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance and overweight, and who's causing what. One theory is by Professor Roy Taylor that suggests that insulin resistance and weight gain encourage each other in a self-perpetuating cycle. Dr. Peter Attia firmly believes that insulin resistance drives weight gain, and we need to target the cause, insulin resistance, not the effect, obesity. Professor Unger highlights the actions of glucagon and hyperinsulinemia, or something like that, in the development of type 2 diabetes, and Dr. Malcolm Kendrick developed a theory that holds true with the extreme exception. The most obese demographic are those with no fat cells. Overall, it seems that eating an excessive amount of carbohydrate paired with glucagon actually leads to insulin resistance and weight until type 2 diabetes develops. Why do we talk about this? Well, if we imagine somebody like Chantal or Foodie Beauty who does nothing but eat very heavily processed foods that are very high in carbohydrates, she's not very active. For her to be walking around eating that kind of food, constantly elevating her blood sugar levels, she's already admitted she's diabetic. I know she's retracted that, but this is not something that you can do long term, and you can definitely not pretend that it doesn't affect the body long term, because there is so many studies out there that obviously that indicate that becoming insulin resistant is problematic, as it can lead to potentially weight gain, or it can lead to type 2 diabetes, which has a myriad of problems on itself. Whilst I will definitely be tracking my own blood sugar levels moving forward, especially with a new training plan that I'm gonna start when the gyms open back up again, I find it very interesting to see how the body responds, and it makes me wonder how people can walk around eating food like this all day long, day in, day out, and I can't imagine how they feel. I genuinely cannot. For me to put myself through something like that now and again is unpleasant, so I don't see why anybody would want to do that to themselves on a regular basis. Nonetheless, let me know what you thought of this video. It's slightly different from what I normally do on my channel. It's a bit more informative, or I've tried to at least. But let me know if you want me to do nikocado avocado and just eat a load of nuclear ramen. And also, if you made it this far, make sure you comment, like and subscribe. Insert a Canada flag emoji. You're a real OG if you do. If you dislike the video, dislike it. Let me know down below why. Maybe I can learn something. Maybe we'll agree to disagree. But on that note, I'm gonna go, and I'll be back later in the week with 3 days of Weight Watchers and my experience on it. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.